Hello and welcome everybody to my Brock Bowers prospect breakdown. The 6'4", 240 junior tight end from Georgia is arguably the greatest tight end prospect we've ever seen. He's in the conversation with Kyle Pitts, Vernon Davis, and even Greg Olsen for some of the greatest tight end prospects we've ever seen. And I think Brock Bowers has the potential to be the next Travis Kelce or George Kittle. Coming out of high school as a 4-star recruit, Bowers jumped onto the scene as a freshman with 882 yards receiving and 13 receiving touchdowns, which broke the Georgia record for the most receiving touchdowns in a season. He led Georgia in both receiving yards and receiving touchdowns to become the SEC Freshman of the Year and even scored a touchdown in the 2021 National Championship. But 2022 was really his best year in college. He led the FBS in receiving yards with 942 and had 7 touchdowns. He even had 152 receiving yards and a touchdown against TCU in the national championship. In 2023, with a minor injury, he only played 10 games, however still had 714 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. In Bowers' 3 years at Georgia, he led the entire team in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns every year. He was a unanimous All-American in 2023, a first-team All-American in 2022, and a second-team All-American in 2021. And he's also the only player ever to win the John Mackey Award or the Best Tight End in the Nation Award 2 times. Bowers is not only a phenomenal tight end, but he transcends the position. A recent phenomenon that we're seeing in the NFL is tight ends becoming receiving monsters. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson, Dalton Kincaid, and David Njoku are great recent examples of tight ends being phenomenal in the pass game. And Bowers is next in line with this bunch. Bowers is not only an elite receiving threat at tight end, but he can fit in the slot, the boundary as an inline tight end, and also as an H-back. His elite game speed, explosiveness, athleticism, and elusiveness after the catch, mixed with his size, made him the hardest tight end to stop in college football. Mixed with his contact balance, his yards after catch ability is unmatched. Bowers led all tight ends in yards after catch in the last 3 years. Not to mention, he forces a lot of missed tackles as a tight end. Linebackers can't really guard him because he's faster than them and can beat him on his routes. And slot and boundary cornerbacks also have a hard time because they're smaller and he's running stride for stride with them. He also has great versatility. He played in the slot the majority of the time, however he played in line as a true tight end, played the boundary as a wide receiver, and even had 5 rushing touchdowns in his career. Now the only weakness I would attribute with Brock Bowers may be his blocking ability. As a pass blocker, he's okay, but he doesn't ever pass block. He only had 77 pass blocking snaps and over 2,000 career snaps. And he isn't a great run blocker, especially against defensive linemen or edge rushers. But there are some people in the draft community questioning his play strength and size. Now for Bowers' skill set, he can work around this or even benefit from being lighter at 240 pounds. And if he goes to the combine, I think he'll weigh in a little lighter. And for his physicality and play strength, at the NFL level, he's going to face stronger and bigger linebackers and corners. But if him being thinner allows him to be faster and more explosive on the ground, then I don't really know how that weakness is going to affect him. But with all that said, let's get into the film. Alright, so the first play of the film breakdown, I'm going to be going all the way to the National Championship versus TCU. And on this play, Brock Bowers is going to be running a 10-yard in or dig route. However, he does go a little over on the route, but with secure hands, he's able to get a little bit more after the catch. Alright, this is a play from the same drive, and it's going to be a design screen with Darnell Washington running a phony fade, I guess. And then the right tackle, Artemis Mims, is going to be the screen lead blocker with Brock Bowers. Big thing is that the flat defender over here has to cover this route, but he does have safety help, so he isn't able to exactly play back. And then this linebacker or slot cornerback ejects all the way out to the middle of the field because this is Tampa 2 essentially. But look at the acceleration on Brock Bowers. You really see that with these tight ends. So this play is going to be a fake counter with an end around, and look at where Brock Bowers is lined up. He's all the way in the X. And then running the play, I want to just say a few things first of all, look at Brock Bowers' cut right here. Great cut, and then good acceleration to hit the hole. I mean, tight ends are running the ball now, I guess. That really just displays what kind of a unique player Brock Bowers is. This play is either 3 verticals or 4 verticals with an option route over here. The defense looks like it's coming out in a cover 4 look or a cover 5. However, they have to motion down to likely cover 3 to match the trips on the right side. However, this causes a mismatch because now the safety is the only one that's going to be over in the middle of the field. This boundary cornerback is going to have to get one of these guys, and a linebacker is going to be forced to have to cover Brock Bowers, and this linebacker is a little late, and Brock Bowers is wide open for a huge gain. I know that I said that Brock Bowers I don't think is a plus run blocker as an inline tight end. However, when you want to use Brock Bowers as a real run blocker, put him up against a cornerback and he'll drive him back all the way to the out of bounds. Alright, here's a play that shows Brock Bowers' ability to force missed tackles and his ability after the catch. Brock Bowers is going to fake that he's going on the counter and then goes out for a bootleg pass. And after, he breaks one tackle, breaks the second tackle, and goes for an extra probably 5 after the catch. Alright, so this was Brock Bowers' touchdown in the game. And, you know, there are a few things going on. One is they got Brock Bowers matched up against a slot cornerback. 2, they've got him manned up one-on-one. 3, he's going to beat him off the line. And then on a fade route, you're not going to out-muscle Brock Bowers. You're not going to beat him, especially if you're smaller than him on a fade route or on a high ball. Good touchdown. That's just not a good play for TCU. All right, so Kentucky is running cover 3, while Georgia is running a bunch of really long vertical routes. Running the play, Kentucky backs up everybody so far. Both hook curl zones go exactly where they are, but this safety is you can't even see him on his screen because he's playing like 25 yards back. The cover 3 high halves safety. There's nobody guarding Brock Bowers anywhere, and look at the ability after the catch. He's getting a ton of chunk yards. And then here's the other angle of the play. Brock Bowers is just wide open. And then this defender, bad move for going so far. He goes out of bounds, and I think he hurts himself on this play. All right, so your eyes do not deceive you. This is Brock Bowers in a direct quarterback snap. Now, the play doesn't work out. This is QB power. However, it's just really funny to see Brock Bowers, a tight end, lined up for a QB power. And then the last clip from this game, Brock Bowers, hand in the ground as a Y tight end. Nobody's on him. Fight through contact and scores a touchdown. All right, so Brock Bowers took over the second half of the Georgia-Auburn game in 2023. And on this play, I'm pretty sure the defense is coming out in cover 3 buzz. Maybe if my Madden days don't prove me wrong. However, Brock Bowers running an in route on this play. And when we run the play, nobody's really guarding him. And he's going to take this play for 28 yards. All right, really like this play call from Georgia. This is another huge play from Bowers where he's going to be on a vertical route over here. So basically, nobody is guarding Bowers here. Jukes one defender out. Again, gets tackled from behind. However, is still going for an extra like 10 yards. That play ended up being a 37-yard gain. Like we've seen for almost the entire breakdown, here's another long in route from Brock Bowers. This one's against man coverage on a linebacker. But look at the throw from Carson Beck to put it behind Brock Bowers to where only he can get it. And look at the catch, one-hander. We always love to see those. And then for the play that basically ended the game, Brock Bowers is going to run another in route, attacking the soft zone. And then I'll just let the play speak for itself. Look at him breaking tackles and going after the catch. I did want to show some tape from his final college football game, this against Alabama. We're going to see Brock Bowers again on a signature bootleg, out in space. There's nobody guarding him, and he's just going to go for a crazy amount after the catch. When I talk about Brock Bowers' run blocking ability, especially against an NFL edge rusher, I don't think it's really bad, but I also don't think he's a plus run blocker at the next level. On this play, he has to seal off Dallas Turner so that the left tackle can pull out into space. However, Dallas Turner is going to just quickly rip and get right past him to make a tackle. And then the last play in the film breakdown that I want to showcase is Brock Bowers going one-on-one against SEC Freshman of the Year, Caleb Downs, on a post route. Running the play, Brock Bowers gets off to a good start, shimmies, and then is open for a good completion to put the Georgia Bulldogs in the red zone. My player comp for Brock Bowers is going to be George Kittle. Both players are elite after the catch, arguably being the best of their position at that skill. Both are also considerably fast for their position. They're also great at the catch point, and both are good route runners as well. Their builds are similar, but Kittle is 10 pounds heavier, and the biggest difference between them is Kittle offers a ton more as a blocker. Kittle was a primary blocker at Iowa, and then with the 49ers became more of a receiving threat, and Brock Bowers has always been a receiving threat and less of a blocker. I currently have Brock Bowers as a 7.40 prospect grade, and he's number 3 on my board ranking, as well as Bowers being my number 1 tight end for obvious reasons. But Bowers probably would have been my number 1 prospect in 2023. I think that Bowers has the potential to be a future All-Pro at the tight end position. Many analysts are calling some players like Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. generational prospects at their position. But if there was an actual generational prospect in this class, it has to be Brock Bowers. He's a player that literally transcends the position. He's as fast as wide receivers. He's as big as a tight end. He can even rush the ball. I think that Bowers is actually the future of the position. And I also believe that he could be a multi-1,000-yard receiver at the NFL. Now, even though I think Bowers is a generational tight end and could go as early as top 5, I think he'll slide down a little bit more in the draft. This class is just too talented at the most important positions like wide receiver, quarterback, offensive tackle, and edge, that teams will prioritize those players above Bowers. But I do not think he'll slip past the top 15. And my hope is that whatever coach drafts him will be able to utilize him effectively as a pass catcher and not force him into a traditional tight end role. But whoever drafts him will get an elite receiving threat immediately. But that's going to do it for my Brock Bowers prospect breakdown. Let me know your views on Brock Bowers. Make sure you guys also go read my full scouting report on Brock Bowers on my Substack. Link is in the description. And go and support my Patreon as well. Link in the description. And go watch my other prospect breakdown videos like Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. But as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Twitter, follow my TikTok, follow my Instagram, follow everything. And I'll see you guys in the next video.